on.
I failed.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it
Dude,
going, man?
so what was the deal last night? I couldn't connect to any of your games.
I know, it's bullshit.
I couldn't connect to anyone's games last night.
I was playing, I couldn't connect to your guys' games, but like playing against random people, I was playing just fine. I played for like an hour and a half last night, and it was perfect.
Me and Melky, we played, and I was able to connect to his game, but it was lagging pretty bad.
Really?
Like, yeah,
How bad?
Everything was in slow motion.
That's
pretty
fun.
much. I mean,
For the most part, that's not what I've been experiencing. I mean, that's what I experience usually when I'm playing, like online fighting games. I'd heard that they had kind of tuned the online play so that offense works and defense doesn't work as well. I don't know how they did that or whatever, but generally you can like input a combo string, and even if it's jerky, like all the moves will still come out, but defense seems a lot harder.
Like you said, when it worked right, it really worked right. But when it worked wrong, it really worked wrong. Especially when you have a guy who like knows what he's doing and it glitches up, or it like slide shows up, you know. And for a while, it stops and freezes and stops and freezes. And if a dude is just mashing his like attacks over and over, you can't block.
We've had this game for around the past week, and this is the week before the release in the US, so like not that many people have it, but we have been able to find games. I'm assuming that they're European players because the retail European release came out like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I definitely have had some matches that felt a little bit laggy, you know, like you were saying, where people were mashing punch, 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 kick. You know, most people consider VF to be a more technical fighter. So, you know, it's going to take people, you know, new players a little bit of time before they actually know what the hell's going on. And so I thought that at the beginning of this game's release, you know, playing online would be kind of a headache because most people would be mashing.
I had an hour, there was like a stretch of an hour this morning that I was like golden. I was playing, it felt like there was a person next to me, you know, I was just kicking ass or getting my ass kicked actually, but it was mostly that after that hour, it stopped responding, and all of a sudden there was a time, you know, when you have the quick matches where all of a sudden you get someone and it comes up right away and their name pops up, and then all of a sudden can't connect to host, and can't connect to host, can't connect to host. And seriously, I couldn't connect to a host for like half an hour straight.
If you're connecting to a game via quick match or custom match, you as the connecting player are always going to end up on the second player side. Well, it's a little thing. I prefer playing on the first player side, you know? So I found that if you create your match, then you're always going to start on the first player side. And if you create your match, you never have to deal with anyone dropping out of your game or not being able to connect because they just connect.
Right.
So I started creating matches, and that was a much more fulfilling experience. And in fact, that was exactly what I did in Street Fighter on Xbox Live as well. That like I used to have connection problems trying to connect to people's games, and once I started creating matches, that went away completely. And once you get that green connection icon with a couple bars, it just looks like a cell phone connection thing. Like I find that the connection is genuinely perfect. If it says it's perfect, it runs better than I've ever seen a fighting game run, which is really, really nice. And I think that now that the game's actually available in stores, that I'm hoping that there'll be so many people everywhere that have the game that getting a game with a good connection won't be that difficult. Number one, I'm never going to be able to accept a fighting game that doesn't have online play after this. I mean, it was really hard after DOA and really hard after Street Fighter, but now that Virtua Fighter has it, like, no fighting game can come out without online play that works now. And so I think the next step is the game that really nails the community stuff. I think the big thing that needs to change for the next version of Virtua Fighter is what we were talking about. We wish that there was a better lobby system.
Like in Street Fighter, where like you can invite a few people in, so they can watch your matches, and you know you can have quarter up and you can fight up next, you and your buddies.
Yeah, and you can watch as your friends are playing.
Matches, yeah.
That was what was cool about Dead or Alive. It worked in Street Fighter as well. And one of the things we were thinking of is they have, you know, the quest mode in the single player, which has like a graphical interface for, you know, different arcades and tournaments and stuff. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could, you know, if the quest mode was online and you could connect, you went into a virtual arcade and it had, you know, 30 arcade units that you could like hop onto, and this one had 3 dudes on it, this one has 0, so you play, and then
Or
you invite your friends to play.
maximize ping. What if they made like by location, by geographical location?
Sure.
You like
Here's a Club Sega in California, and you can all just go in there
Right,
and
and
play.
maybe you want to play against Japanese players because that's
Right,
interesting
that's
to you,
the thing.
and you're willing to sacrifice like connection speed for the ability to play against other players. The gameplay works, and I'm happy, but I wish that there was more like community features. It's revision C of the arcade version, it's got all the updated costumes and stuff, which are really cool.
Right.
That's what I like. I like to when you go into a rank match and you see like another character's costume and just like the crazy things that they added.
It's not like the same as just changing your outfit color or something like that. Everyone gets a little bit of like, personality into their character, and it really shows.
You can see how like far a person has gone in quest mode by like the items that they've gotten that's new and
And
stuff
not only
like
that, they made going through quest mode in this version either. I mean, I think people sort of know, but this is the superior version of Virtua Fighter. The quest mode is so much more fun to play now because in the PS3 version, you started with much less cash from the get-go. Because you start with extra money, people can hop in the quest mode, pick a character, and start customizing it, and right away have something that looks so much different than the default characters that, you're going to be able to, from the get-go, have a character that looks unique-ish, and hop online and play someone with it. And I think that's so much better than the way it was. It took me like 5 times as long to make my character look like what I wanted it to look like in the PS3 version than it did in the Xbox 360.
You're never gonna have like the same character when you go out on there and play like ranked matches. Like no character's gonna look the same.
Ready? Go!
As negative as I've like been sounding about this game, it's when it works good.
And I'm here to say that as negative as he's been about it, I can't go over and verify your network connection. I've had nothing but great luck with this, and even the matches, like I say, even the matches that were laggy, like were still, I would define them as playable.
Right.
Not optimal, but playable. And when it is perfect, it is optimal. It's great. A lot of people said they didn't want to buy a PS3 for Virtua Fighter 5. There's a million people that say they don't want any fighting game unless it has online play. Well, I feel like it's kind of annoying that the PS3 version didn't get updated with these new features, but, Sega did deliver this time. It could be better. It's not perfect as far as the lobby system goes, but because it has the Revision C extra features, like I've noticed a couple moves that are different in my character from the old version to this version, and every change that I've noticed so far I would consider a positive change. So it is the better version. The only thing they ruined is the loading screens. The loading screens, there were elements in the background of the old version and the arcade version that were orange, and now they're green, and it's kind of ugly. I had so much fun playing against random people. It's so much better than playing the computer.
This is what we've been waiting for. I mean, we've been waiting to play a fighting game online,
Everyone needs to get this
So
game.
much better competition.
Anyone who's a fighting fan needs to get this game, and unfortunately, they also have to buy a joystick because it's crap
Absolutely crucial.
on the normal
I
360
don't mind the
controller.
story stick. Like I like it. It reminds me of the PS2 ones that I was playing on Soul Calibur.
I
And
think they're fine. It's not anywhere near as good as my Sega PS3 sticks, but that's
half
just
the price.
yeah. It's that one is almost half the price. Anyway, I have the old DOA one, and that one is essentially the same thing. It's a little heavier than this one, but pretty much the same thing, and totally recommended for anyone who wants to buy the game. But there's no excuse for people who said that online 3D fighters don't work. Now if you've been waiting, you wanted an online 3D fighter, this is it.
Yeah.
It works. Hop in. It's fucking awesome. Like, the more people, I've been wanting to play Team Fortress, and there's all these single player games that are coming out, and yet still every night I find myself online playing Virtua Fighter.
Yep.